Friends, hello, welcome back. Happy Sunday. Our first franchise mode video in what seems to be forever. I'd like to promise and say, hey, we're gonna get back into franchise. We're gonna do it some more. But no promises. No promises, but I do want to. You know, we're 3 days into the new NHL. We've been posting like crazy, playing a lot like crazy. I feel like the motivation's back. You know, last year was kind of like an out year. This year, I feel the motivation to do everything, it's really there. I've been writing so many things down, doing a lot of ideas. Just now getting the franchise mode, which I do enjoy doing the Sims and stuff. And today, we are on episode number 1 of Doing Things Crazy. We're talking trading Connor McDavid from the Edmonton Oilers. Would that get the Edmonton Oilers a Stanley Cup if they traded away Connor McDavid? Not because Connor McDavid's a liability, but he starts the imagination. Let's not be crazy, right? But because his trade value would be so freaking high that he'd get such a big return that the rest of the team could win. And before we do this, I got 2 questions. One, if you're an Edmonton fan, would you be willing to trade McDavid? Is there a price? I mean, everybody's got a price, of course, but a realistic price. What would you be willing to take for Connor McDavid? Number 2, I'd like to know your favorite team. I'd like to know what you're willing to give up for Connor McDavid. We're talking 2 firsts, 3 firsts, that, you know, a first liner, 2 seconds, 2 first liners, 2 seconds. You know, where's the line? Because Connor McDavid is in a league of his own. He's going to bring up whoever, you know, he brings the power play up, brings up the entire first line he plays with. You literally can sign a guy out. You might be able to pick up your cousin, right? Call your cousin up. Say, bro, what up? We'll give you the league minimum. We're going to go come play with McDavid. You're probably pot like 30. Just stand close to the net. He'll just put it on your tape. Just push it in. You know, it's that easy sometimes. That being said, let's look at this team. Let's see what we can do here with the Edmonton Oilers. Obviously, if McDavid goes, we're probably going to want a center. And see, the thing that's beautiful about this team is you still have Leon Draisaitl, another, you know, arguably top 3 center in the league on this team. You still have Nugent Hopkins, who I believe can take draws in this game. Nah, not really. But if we had to move him there, we could. There's a lot of depth. This team's really been growing. From where it was, you know, McDavid, Draisaitl, and friends a few years ago, it really feels like a serious contender now. But nonetheless, they still have not won a Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid. So we're going to make that happen today. They have Bouchard, they have Ekholm, they have Nurse, they have Stetcher. We definitely need some defense. I would like 2 defenders. We need to replace the goal-scoring, playmaking abilities of McDavid on offense. I think we need a goaltender. Oh, we don't need a goaltender. Skinner's a 786 overall. All right, well, we're good with the goaltender. I didn't realize Stuart Skinner was only 25. It's all right. Look at that stash. That guy looks like he was born in the 80s. You could put an alumni jersey on this guy, and I believe he was playing with Gretzky and company. Nonetheless, Stu been playing some good puck lately, apparently. How did he do last season? Can we see how he did last season in from this particular screen? I'm believing so. 905, not too shabby, not too shabby. The year before was even better, 913. 29 wins, 14 losses. Yeah, we're gonna start with that. And there's a couple things we're gonna have to do here in this trade. First of all, we have to find. We'll take a look at what McDavid's trade value is. We had to go to season mode. Salary cap's kind of a null. We're being unrealistic here and we're getting crazy anyway. So we might as well say, hey, whatever they trade for, they was gonna find a way to get under the cap with. So yeah, or if not get under the cap, finagle the cap. You know, we've realized the cap's kind of a soft cap at this point. You know, just throw a couple guys on long-term IR, bring them back in the postseason, you're good. So we're gonna get a little unrealistic with this one. McDavid, maxed out trade value. I mean, just right off the bat, you know, like, I don't even think Edmonton would go to the table with Anaheim. First of all, you want to trade them within the division. Second, I just don't think they have anything you want. You have a bunch of young players, but what's the limit, right? If you're Anaheim, are you willing to give up 3 first-round draft picks and 2 future firsts? Because it almost would feel like that's what you would want if you was Edmonton, especially if you're trying to win right now. So if you're trying to win right now, Anaheim, you're gone. You might have some young stud prospect coming up, you have some draft picks, you know, but teams like Anaheim, Columbus, they can't do anything for me. Boston? Pasternak trade value is too high, right? We're not going to get Pasternak and friends. We're not just going to do straight up Pasternak for McDavid, so that's not going to work. I think Buffalo, how's Buffalo looking? Rasmus Dahlin, Tage Thompson. You know, we could really piece together some solid players here. Owen Power, Bowen Byron. We could put a, oh jeez. We was looking for defense. I mean, it's almost affordable. We could pick up Byram, Power, Thompson, and I mean, not to be greedy. Nah. Oh, we're being greedy. Oh, we're being greedy. All right. I mean, we get the 19-year-old. What's crazy is, no, we're not. I don't know what I thought Tage Thompson was getting paid. I thought for some reason he was under the cap doing that. Tage, you're going to take a trip to the IR, all right, buddy? We can throw a tuck. I really look at that and say, hey, would you take that, Buffalo? We're replacing the center. We're adding more depth on the wing. Another guy that can play, score some points. And then you're adding an elite D pair. That's nasty. I don't think Calgary has anything for us. Carolina, maybe Carolina. Slavin, Seshnikov, Nachas, Jarvis. I don't know if I like what I'm seeing here as much, but I mean, that's pretty freaking solid too. We could go to a lot of these teams. Nachas being another great one. Jarvis being another one. I also like Colorado's going to be one that's too expensive. I like Detroit. Detroit, we could talk about Saturday. We could talk about Raymond. We could talk about Larkin. You could also throw in, let's go by overalls. We're also filtering by trade value right now. We could also throw in Patty Kane or DeBrincat. Only one defenseman though. Right now, I'm thinking maybe Florida has something. I'm looking at Buffalo. What an uprising and turnaround from Buffalo to be at this point now where they have this many good defensemen on our team. Verhaeghe, Reinhart, yeah, you don't have it for. I mean, what? Wait a minute. Nah, too expensive. Reinhardt and Kachuk are too expensive. I was gonna say we could get Forsling, we could get Ekblad, we could get Verhaeghe. That wouldn't be too shabby. I think they're too expensive for us though. Minnesota, Montreal, Smashville is usually loaded with defensemen. Do they have any of these days? Roman Yossi maxed out, too expensive next. New Jersey's got some young defense, so it's Dougie Hamilton's price expensive. It's not. Jesper Bratt, Nico, ooh, New Jersey. We could pick up Timo too. Ooh, and they even gave Luke an 86. We could turn this defense around if we picked up. Ooh, we don't need that many good defensemen. Let's settle down. But we got Nico, we got Bratt, and then you would go with the goal scorer, Timo Meier. I mean, that's a power forward. Is he a power forward in this game? He is. You add some physicality to the offense. You bring in a defensive mastermind like a guy like Nico Hischier, who can also score if he needs to. He wins faceoff stud. The two-way prowess. And you turn into a defensive juggernaut. Is Meyer still potting goals? Kind of a little bit. Not in real life. We knew the answer to that one, but I'm looking at this one. I don't think they're going to take that. That's a lot. That is a lot. Oh, we're gonna start it. We're gonna start with Nico. We're gonna start with Jack Hughes just for a good time. What do you think, New Jersey? You're gonna no, I ain't even gonna laugh at that. That meter ain't even close to fair. But we talk about Meyer. Ooh, McDavid for Pesci, Hamilton, Nico, Bratt, and Meyer. And if we was to chop one off of this trade, would it be Bratt, or would it be? I'm thinking Bratt just because he's not the goal scorer. I'm wondering if we want a goal scorer. He's got great shots for a playmaker. Send it. Hey, I thought they took it. We are close here, but you still need to sweeten the deal. But I think we'll, with a little fine-tuning, Jersey gonna get behind it. Ooh. So we fine-tune and say no more Bratt. We're really close. Or not Bratt, no more Myers. And maybe instead of Myers, we go Dawson Mercer. A goal scorer, a sniper, you add him, a little less value. I mean, it's what we're looking for. I would really like the physicality, but I do like we have two defensemen, Nico, a two-way guy. Send it. Trade accepted. There's no way. Oh, man, I love the new trade mechanic. Yeah, this is great. I feel like back in the day, that was never happening. Today, they said go ahead and send it. Again, no salary cap, so we're gonna be a little bit over there. But again, it's like we say, if you're giving all that up for McDavid and you're trading McDavid, you're finding a way to make this work. And it would feature a guy or two going on a long-term IR because it just works like that. But I mean, we're a dream situation right now. Now you have Nico Hischier, who and Jeff Skinner, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You got Jesper Bratt, Leon Draisaitl, and Zach Hyman. I mean, that line's gonna eat in a big way. Dawson Mercer is your fourth line center. That is not going to work with him being a sniper. Can somebody else play center? Nugent Hopkins can, but would that be some sort of energy putting Nugent Hopkins on the... I can't do that. We can't do that. That's the one issue we do have here is we do not have... We really don't have a bona fide third line center. I don't like having a sniper as a center. That's the issue. I don't think we have a choice. I'm not seeing anybody else that can play center besides Nugent Hopkins. And again, I don't think we're going to move him down there. Unless we put Mercer in the second unit, you put Nugent Hopkins here. That is down there. But I like that because then you're going to put Nico with Mercer. Nico, a good passer. You have Jeff Skinner, who's also a sniper. Is that going to, interfere with things? I'm not too sure. But then you have the two-way. Oh, no, Nugent Hopkins is a playmaker in this game as well, too, actually. I love that Nugent Hopkins is a two-way player. It looks like neither one of these guys want to play defense. Nugent Hopkins is the better defensive player, though. But look at this defense. Take a second. What is Dougie's sitting on the third line? That's how good it is. That's nuts. Well, that's not gonna happen. I don't know. Did Dougie get robbed? Why is he got no? Okay, I was switching. I'd say where's all of his X Factor abilities? So Dougie's gonna be a first liner. That was kind of disrespectful by like a lot. Nurse, once up there on that top unit, he's gonna be a third liner. That power play is still gonna look disgusting even without McDavid. You now have Hyman, Bratt, Bouchard, Hamilton. That's not gonna happen like that. Let me see what we can work with here. Center, who's not on this unit right now? Is it Heischer? Heischer's not on it, and I feel like I'm missing somebody else. Mercer's definitely not on it. Is Brad on it? Yeah, Brad's on it. So it's just Heischer that we're missing. And yeah, we're gonna throw him on there. Nico gets to play in the power play too. There you go, Nico. I bet he's on the second unit. Is he on the second unit? He is. That is the issue there. We'll let Henrique play on that second unit. We're trying to powerhouse this first unit. There you go, Henrique. You can take the draws, buddy. We trust in you. And now is this what we want to go with on the first on a team? The Nugent Hopkins thing on the third line is kind of scary, but you gotta remember Dawson Mercer 22. Still growing. I like this. I like this team a lot. Edmonton, thoughts? I'd say you get to keep this team. I'd see this is the thing. It's a Stanley Cup or bust kind of team because you don't get to keep all these players. That's the difficult thing you run into. I mean, if it takes 5 players to get McDavid value, but you're going to pay all those players probably 25, 30 million minimum. That's how valuable Connor McDavid is. So it's probably 1 year or 2. Maybe you get to keep 3 of the 5. I don't know if you can talk me into it. Would you do that if you keep 3 of the 5 players we just traded for the next 6 seasons, we'll say? Would you trade that for Connor McDavid? If you're New Jersey, I mean, if you're New Jersey, you're probably thinking there's no way I'm giving that up. But then again, you know, Edmonton figured it out. Well, you got 12 years to figure it out, but that's a lot. Edmonton is 1-5. What is happening? Now they're 5-5. Okay, we're winning hockey games. That was crazy. They started the season out 1-5, went out and won a lot of games after that. Thankfully, we're making sure that they've got to make playoffs. Could you imagine trading for those players? 5 players, not just 5 players, really 5 of New Jersey's 5 of their 6 best players. 4 of their 6 best players. We dropped Meyer, and then you still couldn't make the playoffs with the Edmonton Oilers. That would be some wild stuff. But they look to be figuring things out in Edmonton now. A 20-11 team, 21-11 team, moving on up in the world. I mean, let's get real for a second. Could you imagine the heyday the media would have if you traded Connor McDavid away for that haul of players? And you have to think Edmonton feels like they won at that point, right? And you start 1-5. It would have been a train wreck. They would have been throwing the jerseys on the ice, starting 1-5, trading McDavid away for those players and not working. They'd be booing those guys out of the arena. Nonetheless, they did figure it out down the road, 47-30, making the playoffs. Chicago going to make the playoffs just real quickly. I mean, we might as well see how things turned out. New Jersey got absolutely gutted. Meanwhile, Draisaitl still dropped 101 points. Draisaitl doing Draisaitl-like things. Hyman had 77. So the 2 best players were still native Edmonton Oilerians. We're going to call it that. Jesper Bratt had 74 points, 56 assists. Heischer had 63 points. That was the thing, you know, again, we was talking about it, trying to get some goal scorers up there with Nico. There's a couple playmakers in there. Nugent Hopkins at 55 points, making most of it right there. Arvidsson, Hamilton, 44. How'd the goaltending look? Not bad, 9-11, 44 and 21, 273 goals against average. As far as the season went, again, the slow start ended up with 99 points, tied for first with the Vancouver Canucks. Edmonton was doing better with McDavid in real life, just to go back on things. How the Devils do. The Devils still made playoffs. You traded all that away. Did the Devils make playoffs last year? They traded all that away and made playoffs. It was a weak division, in all fairness. I don't know how they made playoffs at 42 with 87 points. But we got to see how many points McDavid did for those New Jersey Devils. New Jersey, how'd you guys do? Let's take a peek. He had 93 points. You know, the scoring's a little different. You still see, we was doing all this talking about the Devils, right? We traded everything that we just traded away from the Devils. And what they ended up with was dang near an Edmonton Oilers from 4 years ago. You know, you still, at this point, you're looking at the Devils and saying, all right, now we might have 2 of the 3 best centers or 2 of the top 5 centers in the league. And we have, a bruising winger that can score some points. We have an Eric Hall, I don't want to get crazy, an Eric Hall and Ryan Hopkins there. And then you have an up-and-coming young defenseman in Nemec. That might be your Darnell Nurse. And it's like, can you bring in, you lose all those players? You got another up-and-coming Luke Hughes. And then you have the cap space to sign other players. I don't know, New Jersey. After I looked at it on paper, that's still a lie. If I was a fan, I'd say there ain't no way. But when you look at the thing, you consider all the cap space you would have after that, and the best player on the planet. Ooh, see what we can do here. First round against them Chicago Blackhawks, not looking good. 2-2 series split. We are going to lose in series number 1. Done in 1. One and done, some would say. Edmonton's not going to get out of the first round without Connor McDavid. Hey, some things never change. I think we can look at the postseason stats, or can we not? I would like to look at that if possible. Where do we normally see those? Season stats, playoff stats. That's what I'm looking for. 2 points, 2 goals, 1 assist for Draisaitl, your main man. Put up 3 points. That's not what you want to see. I'm shocked though. Sometimes you can have too much talent, and that just felt like a team that had too much talent because that team was loaded. Gone in the first round. Nonetheless, as always, if y'all enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate you liking and subscribing. You never had to. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.